everybody. So I decided I'm gonna do this like little I'm not gonna say vent or rant or whatever, but this is something I'm going to address to several people because I have a really dumb friend who says that there are times like where I can be dismissive slash belittle people. So I want to discuss this really quick before I get ready for my day. So no further ado, I'm gonna proceed. Do I consider myself dismissive or do I belittle everyone, belittle others? So the answer is not quite. So even though yes, I do, sometimes I do. I don't really like. How do I word this? I don't always think it's. I always don't think it. I don't always think it's a good idea to say this and that. So like, example like. So this was like a long this was like years ago. So there was a dude who I knew for a little. Well, I didn't really want to get to know him in that way, but this was like years ago. But there's this dude who was 18 at the time. Who he thought that I found who he thinks that he found me attractive, but and such and I mean, I just only had a small talk with him, and I told him like I like this and that, and then when he showed me a picture of himself, he wasn't that cute. He's a very thin built. He is darker tone than I am, and his hair wasn't really that cute. So he called himself cute, and I told him like, no, I really hate to break it to you, dude, but you're not that cute to me. But I said I hate to break it to him. I don't really want to come off as like, no offense, bro, but you're not that cute to me, and I don't think we're a match, and you're not my type anyway. So I mean, obviously he wasn't looking for a relationship, but I told him that like, no offense, but you're not my type. You're not that cute either, and the fact that that's people like you who call yourself cute and you're not really that cute to people, you're just pretty stuck up yourself. So because like personally, like for me personally, a lot of people find me attractive, which is okay. I don't really go bragging about how good I look. Like if if someone's attractive, like I don't care if I'm like, for me personally, it doesn't matter how someone looks on the outside. However, you can be very attractive on the outside, but you can be really snotty on the inside. But that's not always the case. It just depends on who the person is. And maybe he's cute to several people, and with that behavior, like where if someone rejects him and he takes it too personal. He's just the type of person that like he might be cute to some people, but he's the type of person that will he just felt bad that I rejected him, but like rejected him to even like mess around with him. But obviously I'm not gonna name names, but if I reject someone, it's not me saying that they're ugly themselves. I might say that they're not that cute, but that doesn't mean telling them like you're fucking ugly or whatever. But I'm just not interested in someone like him, because obviously he was 18 and I was like 22. But the point is some people take it too personal to the point like, and then I had to block him obviously, because the dude just wasn't that cute, and he was very needy about others too. And the fact that he was in Glen Burnie, and I live in Montgomery County, just makes it too. It's like I don't even know if this kid stalks everyone or whatever. But that's none of my business. But yeah. So back to the belittle point. So obviously, I told some of my friends about it. They said that most of the people, the vast majority of my friends is like they say like if he can't take rejection well, if he can't take rejection well, that's his problem, not mine. And which is the most common answer that I get. Like if he doesn't if he can't handle rejection, that's his problem, not mine. And I have one dumb friend who, obviously I told, sometimes I was like, obviously, he told himself that I don't know if people find me attractive. I told him like, I think you're attractive to one of my friends, so he's a big guy, I find him cute, and doesn't mean I'll do anything, but and I told him like that there's this dude, who said this and that about himself, and then I told him that you're not that cute, you're too thin, like he's too skinny for me to be into him in that way. And he told me like, why would you say that? Like, why do you belittle people like that? And is it because I'm insecure about all that stuff and all that stuff? I told him like, I'm just saying he's just not my type. There's a difference between belittle and someone who's not your type. Someone who is not your type. I mean, it would, like, if I was to, describe him as a very unattractive person, then probably that would be belittling. But he's not that cute to me, personally. But I never told him that he wasn't cute in general. So, if someone's attracted to him, good for them. It doesn't, that doesn't affect me in any way, or in that way. So, or for that matter, anyway. So he was kind of like saying that I belittle people because I'm not interested in them, and that's not the point. Maybe, if anything, the only thing maybe if anything is talking about how 90s kids, 80s, 90s kids like show more. How do I say this? That we show more appreciation to the older generation versus we appreciate us Gen Ys. We appreciate some Gen X people. How their video game interests. Back in the day. They do pinball and Pac-Man, etc. Like the stock blocky style games. And obviously for us Gen Ys, we do a lot of Nintendo anime games, Pokemon, Superman, Batman games, Grand Theft Auto to some extent, and a few other like hardcore racing games, stuff like that. But obviously, kids from the 2000s, they'll like Minecraft, they'll like Fortnite and all that stuff. And while I'm not there to judge people in that way, if you're into that type of stuff, which I genuinely don't really like. That's your opinion, and if you try to act like you're better than everybody, then if anything, I will say something about about their generation. I kind of state facts. I kind of state facts on why some of the things that I am is better than them, if anything. But that's if they're like asking for it. They're asking to to disrespect others. Then of course I'm not necessarily like belittle. I'm going to tell them that because you can't just say this and that and expect people to show a lot of you just can't expect people to not say anything and make them feel bad low key. And yes, there are people that are low key feel bad about what this person said. And I know that there's people that they don't say this and that, and I know people are low key they low key feel bad about themselves. And I'm not saying that they should feel bad about themselves. That's not what I'm saying. But there are people that are low key mad. They low key feel bad about themselves and all that stuff. So, but that's the belittling. So for dismissive, so I do admit that I've ignored a few messages in the past. So let's talk about when I was online, when I used to go on these online apps, don't really use them a whole lot as much. I'll maybe, I'll go back, just to chat with some of my old friends, because some of them don't really have other forms of social media, which I totally understand. So I'm just there for friends. So anyways, okay, so what's it called? So there are times, like, where there will be some guys, that say, hey, how are you? But when I view their profile, there's some guys who are not my type. They say, hey, how are you? However, I mean, I view their profile just to see if anything from them catches my eye. Like, example, like, maybe they want to be friends, maybe they're looking for friends to connect with video gaming and such. But the vast majority of the time, the ones that are not my type, they're usually looking for something more intimate. And if I see that's their intention based on the what's it called, based on their profiles, then likely I'm going to ignore them. And sometimes people call that dismissive, but I'm just not really interested in anything like that, especially if they're not my type. So, like I said, I don't dismiss everyone like that. Although I did talk to the same friend that told me that I belittle. He said that I had been dismissive when this one guy, this guy who was an elderly Hispanic guy, there was this dude, who was asking people for money, and he actually went into the Starbucks. I was drinking my Starbucks drink, and I was inside, and he asked me in Spanish, like, something like, yo necesito dinero, which is like, I need money. I just tell him no, but I just say it in a more English tone, like, no, like, I don't have any money. I mean, I didn't say I didn't have money, I just only said no. And then he's trying to ask everyone for money. I mean, obviously the manager kicked him out, and then there was this elderly man that came up to me. He's like, God bless you, and I'm like, okay, like, why are you telling me God bless you? And then on top of that, first of all, it's like, I'm an atheist, and I think that was not a very good way to approach someone. And then a lot of my friends, vast majority of my friends says, like, that was a very rude, that was a very stupid assumption to tell someone who's also, like, of Hispanic descent, to assume that I'm Catholic. But while I was raised Catholic, like, raised by a Catholic family, I'm an atheist myself. So, obviously say God bless you, because, a lot of the vast majority of the Hispanics are Catholics. But I told him, okay, like, it's like, you shouldn't tell someone God bless you if they're not Christian or Catholic or whatever. Like, don't say God bless you and all that stuff, because that can come off rude and such. But obviously you don't want to be blunt about it. But I just only told him, okay, like, and then he told me, you're being dismissive to someone who says like that. I told him, like, no, it's because I'm not religious, and you knew damn well that I'm not religious from the start. So, he says that I make assumptions. He's like, you make assumptions. I mean, he told me that you don't, like, he calls me making assumptions when he's the one, telling me this and that. I mean, yes, he's ignored me a few times, and I'm not gonna lie and tell him that, like, I don't want to keep on with it, but whenever I tell someone, like, okay and all that stuff, and yes, maybe to some people it does come off rude and all that stuff, but at least I'm honest about it. I don't show that interest and such. But if I had to pick, if I was dismissive and all that stuff overall, I'm just gonna say not quite. Just depends on how the context is. So, but that's all I wanted to talk about for right now, and I hope this video is useful in the near future, whatever time you think. So, take it easy and have the good rest of your day.